You know that feeling, right? You've learned all this social vocabulary, but then when you actually need it, it just kind of vanishes. Well, today we're going to change that. We're taking that list of words and turning it into a real world toolkit. By the end of this, you are going to have the phrases you need to walk into any social event feeling totally confident. Let's dive in.
So, picture this. You get an invitation. You're excited to go, but then that little bit of anxiety starts to creep in. What am I going to say? How am I supposed to act? Listen, we have all been there. That's exactly why we're going to break down the entire social experience, from the second you get that invite all the way to the final goodbye. So, our little social adventure starts where they all do, with an invitation. But, not all parties are the same, and knowing what you're getting into is definitely step one. So, what kind of invite did you get? Is it a chill housewarming party to celebrate a friend's new apartment? Or maybe a baby shower for a coworker who's expecting? Perhaps you need to find a costume for a fancy dress party, or you're about to see old classmates at a reunion. Or is it something a little more formal, like a wedding reception? See, knowing the type of event is so important because each one has a completely different vibe. And here is a fantastic example of how language can change depending on where you are in the world. Let's talk about those pre-wedding parties. In the UK, a party for the groom is called a stag party, and for the bride, it's a hen party. But hop over to the US, and you'll hear those exact same events called a bachelor party and a bachelorette party. Same fun, just different words. Good to know, right? Okay, the RSVP is sent. The date is circled on your calendar. Now it's time for the getting ready part. You see, the party doesn't always start the moment you arrive. A lot of the action actually happens before you even leave the house. A good night out often builds in stages. First, you might just get together with a few friends for a casual hangout. Then, from there, maybe you decide to pre-drink, which, by the way, is often called pre-game in the US. It just means having a drink at home to get the night started. And once everyone's feeling good, it's time to hit the town and head to the main event. All right, we've arrived. This is it. This is where the magic happens. Navigating the party itself brings a whole new set of phrases that help describe the atmosphere, the people, and yeah, some of those tricky social moments. Really, the whole point of a great party is to let your hair down. I love this idiom. It just means to relax, forget about your stress for a little while, and just have fun. That's what a great night is all about, isn't it? Okay, let's talk about that classic moment. You're out with a big group, you've had a great meal, the vibe is perfect, and then the bill comes, and suddenly things can get a little weird. So how do you handle it without making it awkward? The easiest solution in the world, you all agree to go Dutch. This just means that everybody pays for what they ordered. It's a really simple, fair way to handle the money without any confusion or that awkward silence. Now, let's flip to the dark side for a second. Here is a major social no-no you never ever want to do: standing someone up. This is when you make plans with somebody and then you just don't show. No text, no call, nothing. It's considered super rude, and it's a fast way to really hurt a friendship. Let's be honest, a party is nothing without the people. And if you go to enough social events, you'll start to see a few recurring characters. Knowing these terms can help you kind of read the room. So you'll often meet two kinds of very outgoing people. First, you've got the social butterfly. This is that person who just seems to float around the room, talking to everyone, making friends effortlessly. And then you have the party animal. They bring a whole different level of energy. They love to party, and they're probably going to be the last person to leave. Both are social, but the intensity is the real difference. And now for the ultimate face-off. On one side, you have the life of the party. This is that person who just radiates energy. They're funny, they're engaging, they're the center of all the fun. And on the complete opposite end, you've got the party pooper. You know the type. The person who kind of brings the mood down, complaining, or just not wanting to join in. This feeling. I think we've all probably felt this at one point or another. You're hanging out with a couple or maybe two best friends, and you just feel a little extra, a little out of place. That awkward feeling of being the odd one out, that's what we call being the third wheel. Well, all good things must come to an end. The music is getting quieter, people are starting to leave, and it's time to head home. But guess what? Even leaving has its own special vocabulary and, of course, its own etiquette. So, when you've had all the fun you can handle and your bed is calling your name, the perfect phrase is to call it a night. It's just a nice, simple way to announce you're leaving. You can just say, "All right, guys, I'm exhausted. I think I'm going to call it a night." But here's a little warning. Try not to do this. To outstay your welcome is the exact opposite of leaving gracefully. It's when you completely miss the signals. The host is starting to clean up, they're yawning, and you're just still there, talking away. It's a classic mistake and one to avoid if you want that next invitation. So, there you have it. We've gone from the invitation all the way to the final goodbye, grabbing all these essential phrases. Now that you've got the words to describe it all, I guess there's just one question left. When you think about the social butterfly, the life of the party, or even the party animal, which one are you?